You have 8 questions, out of which you have to attempt. If not, will not carry any marks. These are the 4 instructions. Now you know about the question paper pattern, blueprint, practical paper, everything. Hello everyone, I am Maitri, Faculty of Physics, Vidyashram, Temple of Excellence. I welcome you all to this introduction session. In this introduction session, I'll help you to understand blueprint, components of question paper. This you have to know before starting the preparation. This helps you to score more in physics. So first, let us understand blueprint and components of question paper in this session. Yes, the total examination is for 100 marks, which is split into 70 marks and 30 marks. This 70 marks for your theory exam and 30 marks for your practical exam. What is the duration for theory exam? The duration of the theory exam is 3 hours 15 minutes. In this 3 hours 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes is for reading question paper. So, in first minute, you have to read question paper carefully and you have to identify the questions which are confident of it and which are difficult and confusing, so that you can plan the question paper and time management. Yes, sir. The next is the duration of practical exam, which is of 2 hours. So, total examination is for 100 marks. Next, let us understand the blueprint so that you can know the weightage of the chapter and important topics, marks distribution of your chapters. Yes, this is the blueprint of previous year exam, which you can keep as a reference for your preparation. In this blueprint, observe here the number 33. The number 33 is the subject code of physics. And you have totally 14 chapters in second PUC, which are grouped into 10 units. In this 14 chapters, the third chapter, that is current electricity, has the maximum weightage of 13 marks. So, you have to learn current electricity because it has high weightage, that is 13 marks. And the first chapter, that is electric charges and field, has 11 marks. Electrostatic potential and capacitance has 11 marks. And the fourth chapter, moving charges and magnetism, consists of 11 marks. So, first 4 chapters are very important as they have high weightage. So, don't ignore these chapters, especially current electricity, because it has maximum weightage. And your question paper has 4 parts, that are part A, part B, part C and part D. In part A, the part A consists of 1 mark question, part B consists of 2 mark question and part C consists of 3 mark questions and part D consists of 5 mark questions. And part A has 20 questions. You have to attempt all 20 questions, no choice in part A. In part B, you have 8 questions, out of which you have to attempt 5 questions, means there is an internal choice. Same way, in part C, 8 questions, out of which you have to attempt 5 questions. The last part is part D. Total number of questions are 9, out of which you have to attempt 5. So, in part D, you will have theory based question and also numerical question. To know from which chapter you will have numerical question, here is the mark distribution of each chapter. The first chapter, electric charges and field, from part A, you will have 1 question in 1 mark and 1 question in part B and 1 question in part C and 1 question in part D. The part D consists of 5 mark question. Same way, you can see all the chapters mark distribution. So the last chapter, which is semiconductor electronics. Semiconductor electronics. From this chapter, you have one question from part D, that is theory based question, because in semiconductor electronics there is no numericals. Therefore, this one question is from theory based question, which is for 5 mark. Now you know the blueprint. Let us concentrate on important topics from each chapter. Yes, the first chapter is electric charges and fields, in which we discuss Coulomb's law, electric field, and Gauss law, electric flux. These are the very important topics from the first chapter, electric charges and fields. The second chapter is electrostatic potential and capacitance. From this chapter, we discuss what is electric potential, equipotential surface, capacitance, and energy stored in a capacitors are the key topics. The third chapter, which has maximum weightage, that is 13 marks, very important chapter, don't ignore this. From this chapter, the key topics are Ohm's law, drift velocity, and Kirchhoff laws. The next chapter is moving charges and magnetism. In this chapter, we discuss magnetic force on a charge, Biot-Savart's law, Ampere's law, motion in a magnetic field. And the fifth chapter, that is magnetism and matter. From this chapter, the bar magnet, magnetic field lines, and magnetic properties of materials are the key topics covered. Yes, the sixth chapter is electromagnetic induction. In this chapter, you learn Faraday's law, Lenz's law, self and mutual induction, which are very important. The seventh chapter is alternating current, in which we discuss AC circuits, reactance, impedance, and resonance. Chapter 8, that is electromagnetic waves. In this chapter, we discuss displacement current, Maxwell's equation, and properties of electromagnetic waves. From chapter 1 to chapter 8 in NCERT textbook, from chapter 1 to chapter 8, it is part 1. Next, from chapter 9 to chapter 14, it is part 2. So, the chapter 9 is ray optics and optical instrument, in which we discuss the properties of light, that is reflection, refraction, and the application of refraction and reflection on lens, optical instruments. The 10th chapter is wave optics, where we consider the light nature as wave, and we discuss the properties of a light, that is interference, diffraction, polarization, and Young's double slit experiment. The 11th chapter is dual nature of radiation and matter. In this chapter, the very important topic is photoelectric effect. Very important topic. You have to must and should compulsorily you have to learn this. And the next topic is de Broglie hypothesis. The 12th chapter is atoms. In this chapter, we discuss the structure of atom according to Rutherford model, Bohr's model, and hydrogen spectrum and energy levels. The 13th chapter is nuclei. In this nuclei, we come to know nuclear force, radioactivity, mass defect, and nuclear energy. The last chapter, and easy chapter, that is semiconductor electronics, in which you learn intrinsic, extrinsic semiconductor and PN junction diodes. These are the key topics you have to cover from each chapter. Now, let us know the components of question paper. Before knowing the components of question paper, let us know the instruction given in the question paper, where you all ignore this instruction. You have 15 minutes to read the question paper. Even in that, you ignore this instruction which is very important. The first instruction is all paths from A to D are compulsory. You have to attend all the paths from A to D. The second instruction is for part A questions. For part A question which carries 1 mark, only the first written answers will be considered for evaluation. Only the first written answer, not the second option or third one or next to the first one will not be considered. Only the first written answer will be considered for evaluation. The third instruction is answers without relevant diagram, circuit, wherever necessary will not carry any marks. So, you have to draw the relevant diagram for the answers which is required. And the fourth instruction is direct answers to the numerical problems without relevant formula. You have to write the relevant formula and detailed solution. Nothing but step-by-step solution should be shown in your answer. If not, will not carry any marks. These are the 4 instructions while answering the question you have to follow in exam. So now you know the instructions. And you know in question paper you have 4 parts. The first part is part A. Part A consists of 1 mark question. The total number of question in part A is 20. In part A you have 2 main, first main and second main. The first main is of MCQs. You have 15 MCQs. Each carries 1 mark. So, total mark is 15. In first main, you have 15 MCQs. And in second main, you have fill in the blanks, 5 question which carries 1 mark. So, total mark is 5. The next part is part B. You have to answer any 5 of the following question. Means you have 8 question. Total number of question is 8 in part B, out of which you have to answer any 5 which carries 2 mark. So, total mark is 10 in part B. The next part is C. Same way as part B, you have 8 question, out of which you have to answer any 5 which carries 3 mark. So, total mark is 15 for part C. Next, part D, you have 2 mains, 5th main and 6th main. In part D, the total number of questions are 9, out of which you have to answer 5. So, this 9 questions are split into 5 and 4 questions, where 5 questions are from theory and 4 questions are numerical based question. And in this 2 main, you have choice. So, in the 5th main, you have 5 questions which are from theory and you have to attempt 3 questions. And 6th main is numerical based question, 4 questions, out of which you have to attempt 2 questions. So, totally you have to attempt 3 questions and 2 questions from 5th and 6th main. So, total mark is of 25 mark from part D. Including the choice, your question paper is set to 105 marks, where you have to attempt for 100 marks. So, now you know the components of question paper, blueprint, everything. Now, let us discuss practical paper. The components of practical paper, before that, the first step is to know the instructions. What is the duration for your practical exam? It is of 2 hours. The maximum marks allotted for your practical exam is 30 marks, and where you will have 10 different experiments in your practicals. In that 10, you will get 1 experiment. If that experiment is a non-graph experiment, then you have to consider 3 trials. If it is a graph experiment, then you have to consider 6 trials for plotting the graph. Next, you know that the maximum mark for practical exam is 30, which is split into 25, 5, where 20 mark is for performing the experiment and 5 mark is for class attendance. So, be regular to your class, and 5 mark for your practical record. So, write neatly your practical record. Totally 30 marks for your practical examination. You know that for performing the experiment, you have 20 marks, and that 20 marks is split as this. For writing the principle of the respective experiment, you have 20 marks, and writing the formula and explaining the terms carries 2 marks. Drawing the diagram, circuit with labeling at least 2 parts carries 2 marks. Writing the tabular column and observation pattern carries 2 marks. Using the apparatus, you build a circuit, then carries 3 marks. Using that circuit, if you note down the readings, that is, if you have a non-graph experiment, then you have to take at least 3 trials. And if you got any graph experiment, then you have to take at least 6 trials. For that, and entering the readings into the tabular column or the observation pattern carries 4 mark. Then substitution and calculation or plotting the graph and calculation carries 3 mark. Finally, you have result and you have to write the result with unit carries 2 marks. So, total for the performing the experiment, you have 20 marks. Now you know about the question paper pattern, blueprint, practical paper, everything. The next step is your preparation. How you have to prepare. You all know that physics is all about concept. So, every concept you have to understand clearly. So, go through the concept clearly, understand it. While understanding the concept, if you feel a concept is tough, then you have to spend more time on it. And you have to ask question why, how to understand that concept and make that easy for you. The next thing is, while solving the problem, if you feel like you are failing, don't stop there. You solve more number of problems so that you become master of solving the problem. The next thing is, you have to give equal importance to all the concept. Whether it is easy or tough concept, you have to practice the same way you have practiced the concept which is easy for you. Follow the proper study method. Study method like taking weekly tests, explaining to yourself, explaining your friend. All this help you in your studies so that your studies will be very effective. So don't skip any formula, don't by heart it, follow a proper study method so that your exam will be very easy for you by knowing all the concept, understanding it very clearly. So here I conclude the session. In the next session, we will discuss the first chapter, that is electric charges and fields. Thank you.